Hello, epic viewers from around the multiverse. Prepare to bask in unprecedented glory, because today I'm going to shed light on why near-death experiences are true. Without further ado, without further delay, without further procrastination, let's dabble into this. First off, we're divine, celestial, multidimensional beings. We are consciousness. We presently reside in this simulation that appears to be a material world. However, it's not a material world. Particles are fluctuations of energy vibrating at extremely slow frequencies. So really, this matter is just a consolidated form of energy that has preordained to become liberated and return to its prior form, which is energy. And of course, as you guys know, energy is immortal. Our vessels are not cognizant. Our water bags are not cognizant. We are not tied to our vessels in our real, true, higher, ethereal form. So, how can you corroborate the existence of a near-death experience? What is a testament to the truth of this existence? Well, when someone's undergone a near-death experience, their cognitive faculties are disabled. They no longer exhibit neurological activity. They may be clinically announced dead. They may be deemed or perceived to be deceased. In other words, their vessels are not functioning properly. So, people are able to experience their higher form. They're able to revert and transcend back to their higher form amidst a near-death experience, while the vessel doesn't have any neurological activity. And that just proves that we're not tied to our vessels. Our consciousness is immortal, even if our vessels are unfortunately not. Now, these experiences that they undergo are vivid. They're indelible. They're indescribable. People are enveloped in light. They have these phenomenal moments that they partake in amidst a near-death experience. And if these experiences were untrue, then they couldn't transpire without neurological activity. So the fact that these experiences transpire without neurological activity proves that we are far more than just our vessels, and far more than just our bodies. Our consciousness is not tied to the laws of this particular simulation. When we lose our vessels, our consciousness lives on in perpetuity. Our consciousness has been immortalized, has been forged and created by God, the divine creator of everything. Moving on, what's the second reason to vindicate the existence of near-death experiences? How would I prove that they're real and true beyond the aforementioned? Well, people are able to gain access to secretive, cryptic, occult information amidst these near-death experiences, and they're able to verify with relatives that what they were told is true. So, in this multiverse, when a relative becomes deceased in this simulation, sorry, I got distracted. I was disturbed by the background noises. I apologize about digressing. But getting back to what I was saying, post a relative becoming deceased, unless you speak to someone who personally knew them, you no longer have access to that individual. You can no longer conversate, you can no longer confer with that individual. but people are able to have the polar opposite experience amid a near-death experience. They're able to start conversating once again with their deceased relatives, and they're able to verify with their living relatives that the information that was kept secret to them has been apprised to them. So, if these near-death experiences were untrue, people wouldn't know this cryptic, occult, esoteric, secretive information that they'd have no way of accessing in this world. Unless they spoke to a relative who knew their deceased relative. So in other words, the ability to access inaccessible information vindicates the reality of more to life than just our vessels, and vindicates that near-death experiences are true. Especially if you can bring back information that you would never be able to access in this simulation. Moving on, the third and final reason is that there's so many similarities, there's so many overlapping themes, there's so many motifs, there's so many correlations between people's near-death experiences. They're able to match their experiences up with one another. In other words, people talk about their life reviews. They talk about being enveloped in unconditional love. They talk about being surrounded, being engulfed in light. They talk about being illuminated and transversing through a tunnel. They talk about seeing a landscape of divinity. They talk about feeling lightweight. They talk about being able to re-experience their life through the perceptions and through the feelings and through the intentions of others. They talk about being able to have a multifaceted, indelible, vivid experience with divine beings. So the fact that these experiences have so many similarities to one another across so many accounts of people's near-death experiences is evidence to further vindicate their existence. So these near-death experiences are a reality for human beings, and I have no doubt that they're real, true, and that there's more to life than just our vessels. Our vessels cannot evolve. Mutations adversely impact us. They cause us to lose our genetic code. They never benefit us. So our vessels can only devolve, and they wind up degrading over time, which is unfortunate to say the least. But our consciousness is perennial, is everlasting. It can exist in perpetuity. It can be inside another vessel if it chooses to become reincarnated in another form other than the one it's taking on now. So I am consciousness. I am not my vessel, and these near-death experiences are unequivocally true and real, to say the least. There's so many parallels between people's near-death experiences. these transpire when there's no neurological activity, and people have access to cryptic, secretive information. And if these near-death experiences were untrue, then the aforementioned couldn't transpire. So I hope that you found this video to be enthralling. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Goodbye.